people of the internet? Shout out to y'all. I have another story pulled up here, folks. Of course, shout out to Anton Daniels. I've been reacting to a lot of Anton's videos as of late, man. Of course, again, when I see a title of a video that strikes my interest, of course, I choose to speak on it. So shout out to Anton Daniels. It looks like the video that I want to share my thoughts on today is one in which he entitled, "Most People Don't Make Enough to Live Alone. The Reality of Trying to Raise Children as a Single Mother." Of course, it looks like it's him and his colleagues speaking on this matter, of course. Let's take a look to see what they're talking about here.
Okay, so I stepped outside of the box, and then the person that I deal with now is totally different from the dudes that I've dealt in the past. So much so that he thought that I was joking when I said that I liked him, like I did, because they were so used to me dealing with a certain type of man. Yeah. He didn't believe it at first. Let's fast forward to where we are in our relationship. We live together. We split the bills. We work together. You get what I'm saying? We're building an empire together. As far as what we're doing, we have a production company that we're building together. We're doing stuff together. So we've had this conversation. Yes, marriage is on the floor, but we one of them people that's not gonna rush into it. We can't pay for our wedding, and we can't do that, but we know we get married. I'm not worried about that. Am I worried about other women? No, I'm not worried about that. We're focused right now. So I get what he's saying. You're gonna build this together. Yes, I came in with kids, but he came in with the understanding of I love those babies.
Yeah.
Wait,
so
caveat.
it works.
That's a caveat.
So it works.
Are you working together?
Yes, we work
Only
together.
if you're working
so
together.
Yes, so it works for me. It works for my situation. And I say that for me, it's been a blessing to go from 100% to 50-50. And one day for me, it's gonna be nothing. Because we're very clear. When we build and we get to this point.
Don't listen.
No. What you're missing is that I hate to frame it like this, but women got to go through some shit.
Yeah.
In order for them to appreciate a guy coming in and taking some of the load up. See?
If I had not went through what I went through in the past, I ain't gonna lie to you. I wouldn't.
You probably would have dogged him before.
I might would have taken it for an advantage. I'm not doing that no more. I really appreciate what I
women are
had.
stronger than what you think, and this is my logic right here.
Let's pause right there real quick, man. So you hear, of course, the video is titled, "Most People Don't Make Enough to Live Alone." It started off with this young lady right here who was sharing her thoughts and saying, of course, the man that she's dealing with now isn't necessarily the man that, matched the previous other men that she was working with before. It looks like she had kids as well, too. She just admitted and said that, she's grateful for the dude that she's talking to now because he was able to bypass her having children, and they are now actively working together. So they live together, they're working together. Marriage, of course, has been discussed, but it's not at the forefront. She knows that's something, she's confident in their relationship and their dynamic, and knows that that's something that's going to come down the line because right now they're actively building together, which is a beautiful thing. I agree with. Of course, I did a video not too long ago speaking about, the stigma behind, stepfathers and things of that nature, and should men take care of other men's children. A lot of people said no. Some women agreed and said no. Some people said, yeah, it depends on the person, depends on the lifestyle, this, that, and the other, which I agree. I think it always comes down to the preference, right? I'm not going to say that it should be a hard no that men shouldn't take care of other men's children. I'm not going to say it's a hard yes that they should as well either. It depends on the person, depends on the circumstance. So in this video, of course, again, the segment started off with her just saying that she's grateful for not having to go 100% anymore with all her expenses, her, the childcare, all the expenses. She's grateful that she found a man that she can now go 50-50 with. That's another topic that we speak on a lot, or that I just hear a lot in our, in our culture. In terms of people just feeling like 50-50 is a no-no, right? Oh, no, I can't go 50-50 with my man. My man got to pay all the bills. I ain't going 50-50 with no man. This, that, and the other. Again, I don't think that's the most common. I think that's just the rhetoric that we see online and these podcasts and these, reality shows, this, that, and the other. But I think the average human being, of course, that, still admires traditional values, have no problem with going 50-50 with their partner. I myself admitted that, just in my current stage of my life where I'm at now, 50-50 would seem ideal, just seems the most cost effective, but I do aspire to be a man that could front the greater bulk of the financial burdens under a household, assuming, of course, I choose to get married. As I mentioned in another video, that doesn't look as realistic at this moment. But in the event that I was to get married, have children, or, join forces with a female counterpart, in the current chapter of my life that I'm on now, 50-50 would be what would make the most sense financially. If I continue to become the man that I aspire to be, and I am financially affluent, then yeah, as a man, I do believe in those traditional values, and I do want to be able to take on the greater burden of those financial blows. So whatever, I do believe both parties should always have their own finances. Of course, it all, because if you kind of look at it as a collective, then of course, then it's, the more the merrier, right? So if there's only one stream of income coming from the man, then that could be counterproductive, and that could be a toll as well too. So if both parties are bringing something to the table, as they say, I don't see anything wrong with that. Let's watch a little bit more of this video. Let's see if there's any more context.
The average household income together is like $67,000 to $70,000 a year.
Yep.
Taking taxes out and feeding everybody. You got the 401k over there, retirement.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He keep eating up all of the food. The
Kids want to
stepkid.
play Roblox.
Yeah, and then he got friends that come over. So my point is that
That's the failure to adapt.
But my point is that when you building it together, I think that a lot of times women that have suffered a little bit and had to do it on their own are a lot more appreciative of a guy that actually is about, you know what I'm saying, that come and take that load off.
And that's why men should date single moms.
No.
But can I give you an opposite to that?
What?
A lot of the times, and now this is my experience.
Yeah.
A lot of the times when you have a man that steps in and starts paying everything and doing everything, a lot of times that comes with you being under their control and you being under their thumb.
But you're supposed to be
just
under my
because-
control.
Yeah, but a lot of that's not fair because I seen your level of control. Your control is not what I'm talking about. Your control is you have.
No, you're framing it as controlling.
Yes.
When I say under my control, you got to understand that also comes under my covering,
Yes,
right?
that's what I'm talking about.
Control is not a bad thing.
Hold on, let me. It can be.
Let's pause right there real quick. So basically, in the context, of course, they're speaking about a little bit of everything, right? So they're speaking on, of course, single mothers. They're speaking on, just the finance, the dynamic between, just the man and woman, if she's appreciative, if she has kids, this and the other, the finances, this and the other. But often just going off the notion of just the title, of course, most people don't make enough to live alone. That is the reality of the average working American class family. Let's just keep it real. Again, contrary to all this social media and superstar celebrity lifestyle, where, Instagram will leave you under the impression that everybody got it, everybody's paid. If you leave it up to Instagram, if you go off of Instagram surface level, you would think that everybody got it, everybody's rich, everybody's happy, everybody's kids go to the good school, and everybody's happy, and everybody's making money. The wife is happy, the kids are happy, the husband is happy, and that's not necessarily the case. People are struggling out here. People have been laid off. People are struggling to pay their rent, pay their mortgage, things of that nature, put food on the table. So we already know that. That seems to be the growing trend in just the everyday average American household. So yeah, I would agree with just this thesis here. Of course, this is the title of the video saying that, most people don't make enough to live alone. Most people ideally do have to join forces with other people, man. And I would agree that that is the most cost effective. I think that makes the most sense. Luckily for me, I'm grateful and fortunate enough to be able to afford the lifestyle that I live now. I do live alone. But if I did have more financial responsibilities, I would see how joining forces with another, with another party, with another, a female counterpart, could help out if there were more expenses and this, that, and the other, whatever the case is. As a man, of course, in my personal opinion, there's a fine line in this whole argument because, again, there's different expectations for men as there is for women. For men, we are expected to be the providers, the breadwinners, the ones that can provide and protect and put food on the table and take care of our women and children. In the modern culture now, as I always say, of course, it makes a lot of sense for us to go off of our own, live a lifestyle that makes sense to you as opposed to these societal norms, things that we see on social media and these, celebrity culture, this and the other. A lot of those things are not realistic. So I would agree that it is a lot more pressure for men to, be those providers. So we should give these households more freedom and more lax. Or you yourself, if you are a household that does go 50-50 with your partner, feel no shame in that. Feel no shame that you go 50-50 with your partner. Feel no shame that both parties, again, in the beginning of the video, the lady was, she was speaking on how her and her partner are building something. They're working towards something. She has children, of course, prior to whatever the case is, but they're actively working to something and they both seem happy. She seems happy and content with that arrangement. Again, at the end of the day, man, you should be living a lifestyle that makes sense to you and your partner. Live within rules that make sense within, for your household. So yeah, to kind of, bring it on in, I do agree that it does make sense for people to go 50-50 for the average household. Again, assuming that people are working within average salaries, of course. Everybody's not making six figures. Everybody doesn't have the multi-million, investment portfolio with the real estate and, stocks and this, that. Everybody doesn't live. That's like the 1%. That's 1% of people who make over 6 figures a year. That's not that large of a percentage. Contrary to what guys might believe, the average household is not making that much money. So it would be wise for people to pull their resources together financially, physically, mentally, because again, there's a lot of things that go into a partnership outside of just money. You got to think about that. Sometimes mentally it's not enough. You don't make enough, right? To live on your own, right? Emotionally, you probably do need some, moral support, some, a companion to be able to back you when you're not feeling your best, right? So there's a lot of elements that kind of go into, living with a person in our current times now that makes sense to them, right? There's a lot of things outside of money that I would say would be wise to have another partner there because, as they usually say, 2 heads are better than 1. That's just my take. Of course, I want to hear yours down in the comment section below. The likes, the comments, and subscribes are all greatly appreciated. Let's get into the next one.